The reason I got into running retreats around 20 years ago is understanding the importance of us taking time out for ourselves. I'm not just talking about a need to escape, a need to get away from the to-do lists and the stresses of life, but actually a need to retreat and commune back to ourselves and back to our true innate nature. You know, we're born into a world where we are driven by the egoic mind. We have concerns about what other people think of us. We strive for our positions in life. We work very, very hard to accumulate stuff and things. And as we journey through life, we realize that none of those things actually fill us up or bring us any kind of sense of authentic peace or joy for very long. They are the tricks, I guess, of the human ego and the way that society is set up. So retreat work is really about taking time out to remember who you truly are, deep within your heart and deep within your soul. It's like a returning home, a coming back to home. And a big emphasis on what we focus on is that there are two realities. We're either living from a place of fear, and any kind of thoughts related to fear will cause uncomfortable emotions. They will drive us down the wrong paths in life. We will not be making decisions from the right, grounded, centered place, but we'll be going along with things. And the opposite of fear is love, and that really is who we truly are deep down. Our soul is love. But as we journey through life, we end up accumulating the baggage. You know, some of us have small little traumas. It could be that we felt, you know, a little bit ignored as a child growing up. Our emotional needs may not have been met, and that may have altered our personality for us to maybe become good, to be liked. So we end up accumulating different core beliefs across our early childhood, and then they translate into our adult years. And before we know it, we wake up one morning and we've forgotten who we truly are. What does my soul crave? What are the deep needs of the soul? What is my purpose in life? What am I meant to be doing here to find a deep sense of inner peace and joy and freedom? We are living in a world that is so busy. There's so many things on our plate. We are often running, you know, families. We're running companies. We're in our business world a lot of the time. And I don't believe that the balance of work and play, the to-do lists and inner peace is balanced enough in this world. You are your greatest project. There is no one more important on this planet than you. So when was the last time, or has there ever been a time, where you literally removed yourself from the familiar to actually come back to who you truly are, to actually remember who you are? I think we're kind of opening up to the fact that there's got to be more to life than what we're told, and often what we're experiencing. And the truth is there is a number of different purposes we have on this planet. One is to become the best version of ourselves we can be, so that we can get to the end of our life and know that we've transformed and managed to get through, not only just survive certain life events, but we've thrived under the pressure of certain life events. Some women I meet have, you know, low-grade little traumas, nothing too concerning. But it's interesting how just even in our childhood, our environments, throughout our lives, we start accumulating core beliefs. We start playing roles, the role of the wife, the role of the mother, the role of the friend, the role of the daughter, the role of the caregiver. And really, what is the role that we should be playing for ourselves? My belief is that we are here to embody unconditional love. We're here to find inner peace. People go through their lives striving for happiness. And 20 years ago, when I started running retreats, I used to do a round circle at the beginning of every retreat saying, what is it that you deeply want most from life? And the majority of women back then said, I want to be happy. And as the years went on, what I love about where we're at now is that women have come to realize that it's not happiness that we want, it's inner peace. It's the ability to know that no matter what life throws at us, we have the tools to be able to bounce back from things, see the life lessons of every adversity it is that we're here to transform, so that we can shine our light, return to love, not allow the stresses and the traumas of life to wear us down, but actually find the inner strength within ourselves to rise back up. I've had many kitchen floor moments where I have been in total states of despair in my life. Many times in my life, I've not known how can I go on, how much more can I take. But what I know is that true transformation often happens at our lowest moments. Maybe I'm just a stubborn life school student, I don't know, but I've needed a lot of very heavy catalysts in my life to awaken me to the truth. And the truth that I speak about is that we're not our pain. We're not our traumas. We're not what's happened to us. We're not the things that we've done in the past. We're love. And so my mission as a facilitator of women's well-being is to help you remember that. Remember that no matter what we've been through in life, we can write our hero's journey and return completely back to that state of wholeness, of unconditional love, knowing that we've left nothing behind. We've unpacked everything. We've learnt, we've transformed, and we've risen up brighter and stronger. I really believe that as women, as mothers, as sisters, as daughters, and as leaders in our fields, particularly in the business world, we need to return back to our true femininity, which is where our true power is, to bring in the qualities of the feminine, which is love, creativity, and a sense of embodied divine presence. Every one of you have an opportunity to unpack the stuff that's happened before, to leave it behind. And it doesn't take years and decades of therapy in order to do that. I think we have that wrong. All it takes is just a gentle whisper and a reminder from your soul to your soul. Often women come to retreat and they ask me, Deb, I want to know my life purpose. What is my life purpose? And I think often women are really striving for some big thing to hit them, and often they think that their life purpose may be something quite grand and big, but I can break this down really simply. We have multiple life purposes. One is to really learn the lessons that life is trying to teach us. And a simple way of doing that is any time we're experiencing any kind of negative emotion, that is a call that we're not in our right mind. When we are aligned in our wholeness, we only ever really experience uplifting emotions such as joy and bliss and gratitude. So anytime we're feeling anxiety or stress or depression or anger or apathy, those are signs from the universe basically saying your thoughts are incorrect, because it is the human ego that creates all suffering. So as we come into a retreat experience, we begin with the foundation of that. We begin with understanding these two parts of ourselves, the human ego, all of the tricks that the mind does, how the mind will trick us to play out certain characters and roles and make life decisions that may not necessarily be for our highest good. And then there's the other side of us, which is divine unconditional love, that we're here as angels on this planet to bring heaven to earth. And I really believe that as women, one of our duties is to unpack the baggage, transform ourselves to return to love, so that we may shine that light into our families and into our communities and be the role model that, you know, we probably wished we had growing up. I have a lot of women that come to retreat that live in masculine environments, you know, sons at homes. They might be working on farms with all the shearers and the, you know, very masculine environments. And to be able to stand in the circle, holding hands, looking at each other with nothing but love as a tribe of sisters and women, it's humbling. It's so heart-opening and so special. And while it might sound a bit weird, trust me, when you're there, and your heart opens and you recognize that we're all journeying this life together. We're all each other's guides, walking each other home. To be able to commune like that as a group of feminine, to give and receive love, to learn how to open our hearts to giving love, and more importantly, opening our hearts to be able to authentically feel seen and witnessed and to receive love. It's enormously healing. So during the 5 nights at the retreat, we go through a journey together as women. We learn a little bit about each other, and we recognise just, we never know what other people are facing or dealing with behind closed doors, particularly in this Instagram perfect world that we live in. We don't really show up with our baggage and, and our wounds all exposed. But when we get in, and we might judge women immediately by saying, oh, she's got it all together, everything is perfect in her life. And then when you hear their story, you hear what they've gone through and experienced in life, and you see their willingness and this inner craving to be able to free themselves of trauma and pain that they've gone through in life. It's quite magical to see the transformation. It gives us strength because we are mirroring each other to each other. It gives us lights of hope. If that woman went through that, I know I can get through this. We create a bond and a sacred space to be able to really allow the energy in motion, our emotions, our pain to come out, but in a really beautiful, divine, sacred space where we feel so nourished and so safe. And my mission for this retreat, and my mission for all retreats in my life, is to allow you to remember that deep down you are whole, you are love, and to be able to feel that. So I facilitate a number of experiences for you across the retreat, because we can listen to audiobooks, we can watch things on TV, or watch documentaries, we can absorb a lot of information, but retreat experience is actually really about you having a personal experience of something so that it becomes known to you. Once you have an experience of opening your heart, and I teach this incredible breath work where we're going through all of the energy centers in the body, and you are experiencing this deep within yourself to feel your heart open, to be able to connect to parts of yourself you didn't even know were there, is just an incredible and beautiful thing for me as a facilitator to witness, because you can see the weight of the world coming off women's shoulders. You can see their energy systems just lighting up. And, women arrive at retreat, most of them feeling very heavy, feeling, hunched over as though the world is on their shoulders. And by the end of it, by the time they leave, every woman is 10 feet taller. They are standing in the light, they start glowing. It is just so beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful than to see women smiling and glowing and their hearts open and feeling like they can achieve anything. Some women come to retreat at a stage of life where there's nothing left within them. They've got nothing left to give. And, they leave with a deep, renewed sense of inner strength and courage. And these are some of the qualities that some women take away. We facilitate an ice bath experience. Now, don't freak out, because if I'd asked each of these women would they have done it at the beginning, of course they would have said no, but we leave this for the last day. And by that stage, they're all lining up, waiting to get in. And I hold their hands and I breathe with them, and I look deeply into their eyes for a couple of minutes, which is the time they're in. I keep their mind still, they're present, and the elation of that experience when they leave is just incredible, because they recognize that everything is in the mind. When they're able to be at one and just really still, there is no physical pain, there's no emotional pain. So it's a beautiful way of not only testing ourselves to see and realize how strong we are, but also it's a beautiful way of really understanding our own mind and our own thoughts and our own belief systems, and a beautiful way of actually understanding how to regulate our nervous system while we're under stress. So once you have actual practical experiences on the various things that we learn in theory, then that becomes embodied within you as your wisdom. And that's why I believe, retreat is so important for our authentic transformation. We cannot achieve these types of results, these types of embodied well-being in 1,000 hours of audiobooks or just listening to something. It's the retreat experience itself, giving yourself the gift to be able to come away from the daily grind of life, to be able to focus 100% on you, on your inner being, to reconnect with your soul, to reconnect with the divine, to really come back to your true nature. And what's so powerful about that is that once you have these experiences and you're so filled up with that love and light, you leave retreat going home with a whole new toolkit to be able to find your center much faster, to not get frazzled so quickly, to think very differently about the emotional body, about stress and anxiety and depression. And you have a toolkit where you know how to return to center and to love, which goes so far beyond just yourself. This improves marriages, relationships, connections. I don't know how many marriages have been saved over the years, and so many women that keep coming back to retreat. They're like, well, my husband said you came home this amazing new woman last time, so here, go. Anytime you want to go, please go. And that's really humbling for me, because I'm all about love and connection and relationships and wanting people to have their happiest life. And sometimes when we journey through life with our partners, we can accumulate, and women are very good at stacking the list of all the things he did wrong. And, after 10, 20 years, if there's any disruption, we'll just bring out the rap sheet and throw it back at them. And, I'm very clear on things like this, that we all make mistakes, and the only person that ends up suffering in that isn't just them that's receiving the brunt of our unconsciousness, but it's the fact that we haven't really practiced forgiveness and returned back to love and to unconditional love. So, there's all these different various kind of little topics that we cover that are really unique. I had a number of women that have very high up corporate jobs, and so for them this is different again. They have come because they know there's something missing. They can't put their finger on it, but there's just something, some level of satisfaction or joy is missing. And they leave with having reconnected to that joy, to that inner feminine. And they leave with this whole renewed sense of purpose in their corporate jobs, to allow the creativity, to allow their instinct to guide them, which is a beautiful natural trait of the feminine energy within our bodies. Men have feminine and we have masculine. It's all about the balance. But we've grown up in a very structured, patriarchal, masculine world that was never really designed with women's rhythms in mind. Traditionally, when we were experiencing our moon time, women would go off and commune in the caves or in the huts or wherever, and that was considered a time of the month that we needed to renew ourselves, rejuvenate our energy. And of course, in today's society, it is 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, or actually even longer than that. And we never really get a break. And that doesn't work hormonally for us. It is all structured around the hormones of the masculine. So, I think learning about who we are, what makes us tick on a biological level, on a mental level, on an emotional level, and especially on a spiritual level, enables us to become an embodied, holistic woman that is able to find her true sense of purpose, her true ornate power, to trust herself and to trust her inner guidance. And once you reconnect with those things, you know, questions like, what is my life purpose, are all naturally answered. So I have another retreat coming up in September of this year, 2023, in the beautiful Byron Bay, again at the same venue at Soma. And as you know, the last retreat sold out within 24 to 36 hours. So this is something that we don't have time to procrastinate on. I don't know when I'm going to be running my next one here. I'm very much someone that goes with the flow. So I don't know where I'm going to end up in 2024. So this will be the only and final retreat for this year. And I really trust that if this is resonating with you, if there's a little whisper within your mind somewhere or within your heart that's saying, go, don't think, just do, then this is your higher self trying to communicate something to you. So I encourage you to trust that inner guidance, and you know, the details I'm sure you'll be able to figure out. And every woman that came to this retreat, there was 21 women at this one, all kind of said, I don't know what happened, I knew I had to book quickly and I did, and by the end of the retreat they knew exactly why they'd taken that inspired action in that moment. So I do hope that you'll be one of the special women that join us in our next community gathering. And what you can look forward to: experiences, love, joy, peace, dance, embodiment of all the true wonderful essences that life has to offer us, and inner stillness, you know, really learning some practical skills to be able to stand tall in your life and stand strong in your life and to reclaim your strength, and leave with a renewed sense of purpose in your life, so that you can really turn that corner and really embody the woman you're meant to be. And as a whole healed woman shining her light, you're going to go back to your world, to your lives, and be that beautiful light. And that's my soulful wish for you and everybody that you love. So don't hesitate, don't procrastinate. You do need to book in straight away so that you don't miss out. And I really look forward to meeting you in person and spending that incredible time together, and really facilitating and being a conduit for you to return home to your heart and to who you really are.